anniversary. That's a whole quarter of a year.
Where am I? Okay. Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. I just watched a video about Gerbert. Welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Again, because I streamed this morning. Hi Aspera, thank you so much for resubbing for 3 months, and hi Quinn, and hi Jem, and hi B, and hi Scheming. Yeah, I watched a thing on Gerbert. I love Brutal Moose's videos on Gerbert, but the other day, I listened to this podcast called Good Christian Fun, which isn't... It's about Christian pop culture, but it's not, like, trying to get you to go to church or anything. But, like, it's just, like, kind of, like, looking at that kind of stuff, like, from an outside perspective. So, the Gerbert episode is extremely good. Have I been watching Sphinx's streams? No. I heard that they've been going over some, like, kids' TV stuff, though. Like, old kids' TV. So, I've heard of the Gerbert. I've seen the Gerbert emotes in Desert's chat, but, I miss him. I miss him already. We were watching the episode of his birthday, like, with his birthday party. He's like, "It'll never land on yellow. And nobody even cares." Sphinx's streams are always a real fun grab bag, but he does other religious kid stuff too. Religious media, from an outside perspective, I was raised Methodist, but like I'm not with it anymore. But I still have like an appreciation for that kind of stuff. Like, so I can like look back at it and be like, holy shit, they're giving this stuff to kids. But yeah, anyway, let's get started. I had my soup. I had some leftover soup, some pumpkin soup, and now I'm all ready to go. So yeah. So it's interesting to look at them with an outside perspective. Yeah, I mean, it's like what's the word? Anthropology. It's like I'm brushing off the well, that's archaeology. But pumpkin, you want to try pumpkin soup? The recipe is in my Discord. I have a recipe drawer that we've been posting like recipes that we try and want to share. So that's where I put the recipe. I gotta turn off my heater actually. A little toasty. I thought it was gonna be hot or cold tonight. So, okay, let's get into it. If you're new, welcome. Oh god, my eye's twitching. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. My name is Kat. I'm a VTuber, a variety streamer, and a little fella in your computer. This is an 18... Oh, sorry. I use she, her, they, them pronouns. You can use them interchangeably if you'd like. This is an 18+ stream, so if you're under the age of 18, you can't be here. I'm sorry. I might say a bad word. Can't have that. I got some socials you can check out if you're so inclined. I got a Twitter. I got a Tumblr. I got a Discord you can join that I plugged before, but if you type !Discord in chat, you get a link to that. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done a nighttime stream because of the, we may say butts and Walmart in chat. Oh no. But if you like what I do in any capacity, and you want to support the stream, there are a number of ways you can do that, some of which are free. You can watch the stream, of course, and you can tell your friends. You can take clips of stuff you find funny, and you can share those clips around. You can follow and get access to a bunch of my emotes that you can use within my chat. You can sub and get access to even more of those, and you can use them wherever you'd like, and you get me closer to getting more emote slots, which is pretty cool. You can cheer with bits. I got a cool new bit alert that if you cheer over 10,000 bit, or not 10,000, 100, wow, 1,000 bits, a cool thing will happen. I don't know if I can simulate it right now. Can I? No, that's the stream settings. Yeah, I can't emulate it right now, but it's cool. I showed it off on my Twitter. You can check it out there. Basically, I made a little video that plays, and it'll play your TTS message over the video and make it look like you are a part of the video. It's kind of cool. Oh, and if you want to support me monetarily and you don't want Twitch to touch your money, there is a button in my description that says support the stream. You can click on it, and It'll take you to a page where you can send me a direct tip. I get 100% of tips. They're highly appreciated, but not required of you. For tonight, for the Powerwash Simulator stream, I'll have media share on, so if you want to share a video with me, or with us, rather, or a song or something, you can post the YouTube link with your donation, or I don't want to say donation because it's not a donation, I'm not a charity. Damn, this music's loud. Hot damn. Shut the fuck up, Gooey. Okay. Holy crap, it's still really loud. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry if I was like yelling over the music that whole time. Oh yeah, so minimum donation or minimum tip of $5. You can post a video, we can watch it. Please use discretion. Please no videos with slurs. Please no videos that with stuff that will get me banned on Twitch. Please, please, please. But if it's like a funny one, or one with cooking, or like a wholesome animal video, or a YouTube poop or something like that, go for it. Or a song you want to share. Again, just like use discretion. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna open the game now. I gotta find it though. Badlands Chugs time. Oh my god. I used to watch a lot of those by proxy. Like, I was just around people who were watching them. And that took so much, like, of my life energy. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I gotta change the, Steam guy. Powerwash Simulator, please. I forgot how I found him, but he's like the chillest dude. Yeah. I have to adjust the settings before I get too far with this. What the fuck? I already read this. I need to turn this down because it was really fucking with me. The mouse sensitivity, like I was getting sick the last time we were playing this. Okay, I think that's good. Alright. Want to do the playground or the bungalow? The playground, I think, will be more fun. Any limit on how long the vids have to be? I think, hang on. I gotta show, or I gotta look at my thingy. Gotta look at my thingy. I think I have a cap of 5 minutes, but if not, no, 10 minutes. So try to keep them under 10 minutes. If your video is under 10 minutes, you will have to enter the end, basically the end timestamp when you submit your video. I don't know why. It's really finicky, but it should work. Okay. Let's clean this fucking thing. Oh yeah, I can show this on stream now. Once my mouse is unlocked, thank you. There. Yo! Okay. Oh yeah, this is a lot. Wait, I think I might know what part of the problem is. Did I have VSync off? No, VSync is on. Okay. HDR doesn't need to be on. Okay. I was wondering if there was like screen tearing that was making me sick last time. Okay, let's go. This stuff is clean. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, we gotta get like, hang on, in there. Can rotate. Rotate. Banana. Is that getting all of it? Oh no. Forgot to ask, would anything that gets VOD claimed not since you're talking and doing repetitious noise over it? Possibly. I would say to exercise caution. If you can help it. Damn, no Gallivant tonight. I'm sorry. Dan, look at how dirty this motherfucker is. You couldn't even tell this was under that dirt. I'm trying to think of like what the best way to tackle this is. What were the kids doing to it? They were playing. Would a bigger nozzle be, oops. E. Would a bigger nozzle be a better idea? There's gonna be less pressure. Yeah, see, that's not as clean. Making mud pies. What sort of play did you engage in as a child? When I was a kid, I wasn't very good at imaginative play. I kind of just like went along with whatever my friends were doing. Not a lot of yes-anding coming from me. I didn't have the ideas. Having ideas is a lot of work. I waged war on a neighbor with epic stick fights. That's awesome. I had a friend who loved to play with sticks and play in the woods. And like she liked to play like swords with sticks. And I was always like intimidated by that. Oops. I was big into Beanie Babies and my friends and I would just reenact Beast Wars with them. That's awesome! I used to watch Beast Wars. I don't remember much of it though. It was like on, I think, early in the morning for me. What's the code to add vids in the list? Oh, hang on. I'm locked in. I think it's exclamation point media. Help. Okay, there we go. Is it this? Oh, there you go. Hooray! And then, like, when you select, like, $5, there should be a checkbox that opens up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, so it's not free to... No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scheming. I need to find a really good one. Yeah, that's why I'm like, make them good. Smoke them if you got them. That's not getting through. I think this low pressure nozzle is doing pretty good though for this. Most of this. Let's see. don't even remember a lot of Beast Wars. I remember there was like a rat one. I mostly like to fuck around in the woods and explore shit. The only real thing I did as a kid was playing paleontologist and digging up the yard and rock pile looking for fossils. You found one though, right? Rat trap, yeah. I had a very, very brief Transformers phase. He was the best because he was a huge coward. An inspiration to rats everywhere. My time with Transformers in general was very brief. You want something funny or just in general? I mean, I'd prefer they be funny, but I have nothing against like a funny like a wholesome animal video or something. If it's a video that makes you happy, like a cooking video or something. I don't know what Beast Wars was. Beast Wars was kind of an offshoot of Transformers, but they turned into animals. So they would be machines, but they would... No, wait. Would they be machines and animals, or animals in, like, a humanoid form? I think it's the latter, actually. But, it was, like, CGI. It was really early CGI. Instead of turning into cars, they turned into animals. Yeah. So we keep stepping on the remote and turning you off. She's opinionated. So they were like Animorphs? Kind of. They were robots, though. So, and they were, like, huge, because they were Transformers. I had a very... I don't remember a lot of the Animorphs TV show, but I remember trying to read some of the books, but they were a little above my grade when I had exposure to them in kindergarten. And they're also, like, really freaky, I guess. Sorry if I keep popping in and out, it's not my choice. It's okay. I can't see you, like, leaving, if that's anything. It's not like it's telling me, like, Gem left. Fuck you. Oh my god. So clean. Oh yeah, this is not gonna be enough for this metal, I don't think. This park is filthy, oh my god. I don't know when the last time it was used was, is the thing, so if anything I can take some mental solace in that I don't think kids were actively playing on this. Because I'd worry they'd come back with a disease. Yeah, the problem with this wide thing is that you have to get up really close. Oops. I can admire my handiwork a little bit. Look at that. Roundabout floor plate. This is a British game. The center rug is clean! I didn't even realize there was a rug. Like using this wide angle nozzle though. Like, yeah, it's less effective from a distance, but it's also just like I don't know. It feels kind of more relaxing to use. Which is something I didn't think I'd say about a power washer. Some of this dirt is really in there, though. I don't mind that much, though, because I'm, like, not being timed, and this is to, like... This is a peaceful activity. I think, though, I forget what the button is for... You're gonna blame Phil and Lil for this? Yeah, they probably did it. I'm sure Tommy helped. What's the button that lets you switch things? Q? D. C. Z. F. R. No. E gives you like the whole loadout thing. Let's use some soap. This is a multi-purpose surface. My S ranks, oh, that's for the time trial. Watch this. I saw a hamster at work today. Oh my god, hamsters are so cute. Oh, this blows through soap. I used to have a hamster when I was a kid. Actually, I had several hamsters. It's not like a flex or anything. I just had hamsters at like different stages in my life. Is it okay if the video goes slightly over? Yeah, it'll just cut off at 10 minutes. Like, is there anything important in the video after 10 minutes? Yeah, I'm gonna use my cleaning liquid here because this is a lot. Sort of. It's a montage of a larger video. I would say try to keep it under then. Because I don't want you to, like, lose content, you know? Basically, I had 3 hamsters as a kid. Sucks they basically live... They can live, like, up to, like, 3.5. Oops. Oh my god, there's so much of this plastic! Or whatever the fuck this is. This is probably, like, spongy. Spongy? Probably a type of tarmac. I think it's the stuff that they make out of shoes. I'm gonna run out of this shit. Sorry, my mouse left. Yeah, there was some weird, why can't I walk? Oh, I'm connected to the wrong computer. There was some weird stuff going on with the money per second thing. I couldn't figure, like, I tried to turn it off and it was still showing up on the tip screen. if it's like too much trouble, I don't know, what will I do? I could permit you to like put a link in the chat and I could put it in myself. Or you could attach it just to the message and I could pick it out and then put it in. I'll have to like do some more research on this thing in the future. I'm sorry. I'm almost out of cleaning liquid. This was a mistake. Help! I'm out of cleaner.
Enjoy the bingless scrunk because
Please.
most of the vids I want to share are either 3 minutes and under or 15 and over.
I think I have to skip the queue. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Show it to me.
Anyone can get a prize at the
Jesus.
Value Network. But first,
Speaking of Wayne, yeah, I'm up in it. Christ. Speaking of Wayne,
God bless Spampton.
God bless. Oh wait, I'm using fucking normal shit again. Hang on.
Who will be the secret boss of Adventure No Free? Me don't know.
It could go up more.
Who cares? Me only cares about Spampton. The rest can go up in the airs. Please pay $4.99 to continue the poem.
Hopefully that's good. You didn't see the gnome stream yet? Oh my god, it's amazing.
Spampton's old socks.
Okay.
Spampton's old socks.
Did anyone else see that Toby interviewed the You Made Nikki dev, and the one substantial question he asked was what his Denny's order would be? Hasn't that dev been like extremely like hard to get a hold of for interviews? But he agreed to an interview because Toby was like, it'll just be a yes or no questions interview. Don't worry. They don't do interviews. Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't go to your...
And Toby's like, it's okay. It'll be a yes or no questions interview. Like, it's fine. And they're like, okay. And then Toby asks him what his Denny's order would be.
Rich slurry, which is easily administered out of the nozzle.
Toby has so much power.
Food to every part of your body. Do not blow into the nozzle.
Do not blow into the nozzle. Honey, you saw way more of the... You saw like the whole gnome stream. You were there for the beginning? Or do you mean like the series? Because I haven't seen the rest of the series, just the finale. But I knew of the gnome and his power.
Spampton after not surviving. The new ideal corpse of everyone's favorite salesman, finally contained in glass. Uh-oh, Congadero.
I see.
Hair. Hair.
I love how someone in the comments said the dev wants wants shrimp with 3 kinds of cheese as a plate.
Because this exclusive candle
Oh,
smells
ew.
just like his, I'm sorry, I mean my ass.
Shrimp can go with cheese sometimes, like an Alfredo, but you really shouldn't mix seafood and cheese. Ah!
The soothing sound of the songbird. The lush rustle of the meadow. bygone classics such as Spamcut music. The whole family will be joining in to
Kill your PB. Kill your PB. Kill.
Fill my what? You can't say that on TV. Oh, kill my TV. I thought it said something else.
I'll brush my TV with mayonnaise and slime.
Don't do that.
I'll crush my TV for its horrible crime.
So I look like because I think it doesn't work anymore. I look like Spamton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's real good. Yeah.
The Wayne Radio TV group is just so, like, inspiring, like, with what they're doing as just a group.
Heart locket. Let it rip. Bay, the most popular kid on the playground. When everyone
They
sees who your
just-
best friend is. Kill the other kid.
Like, they're stepping this medium up.
Ooh, ow. Ouch.
Like, live streaming has so much potential.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
I'm so glad that Toby said yes to them
Great
doing that.
stanza.
Yeah, I know.
Fun. This isn't just
Fun.
a poster. Go.
And they got worthy kids on it too. Yes, they did.
Make sure it doesn't
Okay, I
go to your
think I'm gonna
spam
change.
folder.
Oh, it's
There we go.
two.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta get under here. Oh, is this the eggs, the peepus? That poor man. I mean, he signed on for this, but... Improv comedians are too powerful and need to be stopped. It's interesting how outsider media has changed in the past 40, 50 years. Mostly you get popular because you're on a show, but now you can just do it outside of broadcast, right? Right?
Your safety is of the utmost importance to us.
Colin and Ryan from Whose Line Are they were my favorite growing up. Okay, so I recorded a lot of Whose Line Is It Anyway? I wouldn't say that was done, but okay. Oh yeah, the Worthy Kids bit.
Hey, Tony.
That's Tony Fox.
Tony.
Who are you? Who put this camera in my house?
Tony, it's time to head over the prizes. The wild part.
I don't know you. I don't know what you are. You can't have it.
Tony, don't play dumb. We know you have the prizes.
We know you have the
It's
prizes,
time to
Tony.
hand them over.
No.
No shade to Wayne or the rotating for Wayne is pretty good.
No.
He had to be pretty
Tony,
pretty...
Tony.
Wayne has a power that is he can improvise songs. Which is an extremely, like, that's a gift.
Tony Fox, everybody.
Gotta get off the ground.
Finally, you think
Just wallowing in
the words
filth.
you always wanted to hear. You did it. I'm proud of you. But no one will say that. No one. If this is yours,
No one.
I'm sorry.
Well, this merry-go-round. It's gonna be so clean. When I was a kid, I just unlocked a memory. When I was a child, I went to this daycare / summer camp in Scranton
Don't touch that yet.
because like my mom had to work, so that's where I went during the day while she was at work. And one day we went to a park and they had a merry-go-round like this, but it had just rained, so there was like mud around, like surrounding the merry-go-round. And so I like got on and we made it go, and the centrifugal force caused me to fall off, like be flung off of the merry-go-round and into the mud. Like we had to call my mom for a change of clothes. And then one of the counselors later that day we were playing Pictionary and she drew a pig on a like on the paper, like playing in mud, and the answer was me. That's not funny. I fucking cried.
Hey everybody.
I think it was like 7. That's mean. People were always mean to me. It's whatever, man.
Spanton, yes!
Spanton, yes!
Don't you want to cuddle me all night long using my huge ass as a pillow?
Now you can.
I'm gonna say that again.
Okay, we got this. We got the middles.
Say yes! Real loud, okay? You need the mics to hear you. Don't you want to cuddle me all night long?
Let's get the small blue floor. Balp did a really good job in just being like unsavory. Esperanto knows if she's getting me, she has to also accept that she's getting the Spanton ass too. Spanton ass! Spanton, yes! Yo, as soon as you get an opportunity, you need to watch that gnome stream. Thank you for your submission. Ah! I've heard Holly talk about it, so it should be good. What is this sloshing shit? Oh, I don't like this because it's like the drums are going back and forth between the left and right earphones. Oh my god. Okay, 1 sec. I'm gonna adjust the settings. Yeah, this is just all the eraser noises. I can't even fucking think, dude. Thanks. Okay. So I'm gonna make the maximum 15 minutes. But there will not be a minimum tip. So, for 1 cent a second, you can submit whatever video you want. And that should have saved. No, not this fucking shit again. Stop. Okay. No. This is very loud. This slaps though. This can stay. All right. Let me just change the bot stuff real quick. Yeah, like that. And we'll be raring. You loved it so much the first time. Well, let's see, chat commands. Media. 4. 1 cent a second. Okay. And then there's a timer. Here it is. All right, we should be good now. Where's hello? No, this is stupid. This YouTube playlist is dumb. I don't know why I put it in here. Here. Put that in. I'll have to make a playlist that's just this fucking video. So one thing I want to talk about the Spamton Sweep. Balp was on Wayne's Pizza Tower stream and he was talking about how he broke his toe during it. Yeah, that sucks. The worst thing about breaking your toe is that a lot of the time you can't do anything about it and you just have to like soldier on. You have to be brave and you have to be a big boy and you have to just wait for your toe to get better. Cause like the bone's so small, what will you do? I think I broke my toe. I'm not gonna count it as a broken bone though, because like I didn't get an x-ray, so there was no confirmation. But I did like slam my pinky toe really hard against like a threshold and it like bruised and shit, really yucky and purple. Like he said he never went to a doctor until a few months later because it didn't hurt much. And now his doctor said it's set in a way that it's oh no! My toe's fine. I guess maybe it was a bigger toe. And like, it had to be splinted. So what are they gonna do? Break it again? Yuck. From what I understand, unless you do something catastrophic, the pain of a toe break isn't necessarily as obvious as you would think. The other cool thing is a detail at the end of the sweepstakes when you hear a new version of the chase sequence mixed into Spamton's theme. Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that. Oh my goodness! Graves, hello! Hello, Raiders! Oh my goodness. Hello, Raiders. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. My name is Kat. I'm a VTuber, a variety streamer, and a little fella in your computer. Today we're chilling out with some Powerwash Sim. And if you feel like sharing a video with us, you can send me a tip and plug in a YouTube link for a dollar a second. Jesus Christ, a penny a second. So yeah, I've used discretion, of course, but you know. No obligation here. I've got this cool playlist with Gooey here to keep us company in the meantime. Hi Miko185, welcome to the stream. Oh my god, it's the Oh He Cooking emote. I love that emote. I love that gif in general. What's going on? Not much, just cleaning, relaxing, decompressing after this Monday. Is that Mario and Peach holding hands? That's so cute. I'm just gonna work on this red section, I think. The Vulcan kissing. I've seen a Vulcan mind meld before. It was weird. Jem was watching the original series the other day, like on a whim, like on Pluto TV. And I have zero Star Wars experience. Fuck off. Star Trek experience. And, I didn't mean it! It was an accident! But I have zero Star Trek experience, and I was like, okay, let's watch it. And it was an episode with, they were in a mine with, I'm not getting divorced, Jem loves me. She loves my dumbass. Did I say she? I'm sorry, they love my dumbass. I was thinking, yeah, the Horda, I was thinking of the Horda. And the mind meld. And the Horda is like this, like, carpet thing. It's like a lump of carpet with a person under it. that's like shaking around, and the only way Spock can communicate with it or help others communicate with it is through the Vulcan mind meld. You got that from Mine and Mind Meld. And she has all the eggs! So many eggs. You know background on that episode? You saw the actual Horta? That's awesome. Is it as carpety as it looks in person? It looks awesome. I'm sure it looks better in person. Oh my god. Yuck. There was another episode we saw about, like, a civilization that was doing, like, simulated war with another planet or another civilization on the planet, and they would just like beam over the results of the simulation, and it would say like, hey, there's gonna be like 5,000 casualties from this war, and then the town, or they would just send people to go kill themselves to account for the casualties. It was fucked up. Star Trek has always been political. Oh yeah, it's just like, I was just sitting there like, what? This is cleaning stuff music. This music? This makes me feel like I'm like part of a montage of getting stuff done. Ugh. Today wasn't very stressful at work, but like near the end of the day, like a bunch of stuff started piling up just because people weren't in the right place at the right time. And that's always annoying. I love cooking, but not gonna lie, my new space makes me toss a screaming fit anytime I try to get something done here. Aww. Is there like not enough space to cook? I hate like galley kitchens. My uncle had a friend who could tell which episode it was based on the star date alone. I remember you saying that. That's a gift. I mean, I guess I'm the same way with SpongeBob. Except, like, there are no star dates in SpongeBob. There could be. I'm a fucking SpongeBob dork. I loved SpongeBob informed a lot of my sense of humor as a kid, especially because I used to watch it with subtitles on. My mom always seemed frustrated that I would turn the subtitles on the TV. But I have auditory processing issues. I have sensory processing disorder. And I needed the subtitles to like understand what was being said on the TV. So because of the subtitles, I was like secret, like stealth memorizing scripts. There's not enough room. Okay, so I have an electric conventional oven. Wait, I must scroll to read. I have an electric conventional oven because the gas sucks and I had to do the slow cooker. It's like unplugging the oven, trying to move it out of the way just so I can use the— ew. Oh, that's awful. Also, your first Graves, you did it! Congrats. Nobody was here before you. It was pretty impressive how you managed to like do an entire stream and then then raid, and nobody was here before you. Goodness gracious. Dirty. I am eyeing up that dinosaur slide. Stegosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. What is y'all's favorite dinosaur? I feel like I've asked this question before, but it's always a good question. It's how you get to know somebody. My dad was in the Navy, so he had to use the whole galley kitchen thing, but he had far more counter space. Yeah. If you can, like, sometimes galley kitchens can have a lot of counter space. I'm just like, I'm a large person, so I'm gonna like plug up the kitchen. It's a one-person kitchen. For me, anyway. Automatic response is Triceratops. Triceratops is pretty cool. Point of argument, trailers suck. They do. I knew several people who grew up in trailers, like when I was a kid. So, sometimes it's just what you have, but they do suck. I loved Stegosaurus as a kid. You have good taste. I had a really big book on dinosaurs when I was in elementary school. Like, it was big. Ah! Oh shit, my water. I forgot my water. Okay, well, luckily in 2 minutes there's gonna be an ad break, so I'm going to go get my water. And then I will hydrate, I promise. I'm so glad to move out of this, but I don't want to move into an apartment. Yeah, I've never liked apartment living. I'm glad to own a house now, even if it does need a lot of maintenance just because it's an old house. Yes! Yes, large white chlorfleet! Chlorfleaned! Chlorfleaned! My favorites are Stygomolic and Baryonyx. Who is Baryonyx? Computer, what is Baryonyx? Is that the one that's like a Pachycephalosaurus, or... I know that you like them shapes. Dinosaurs. That one is Stygomolic. Okay. Wait, this song is evil. This is the fucking Hey You Pikachu beach song. Pikachu doesn't know shit. Pikachu can't, like... Pikachu is so bad at fishing. This song is so nice, but like you know that Pikachu is like doing some irritating shit to it. We weren't ready for voice technology in N64 games, okay? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the follow, RPG Rooster. I hope you enjoy your time. Baryonyx is a relative of Spinosaurs and has long hooked front claws that it likely used to flip fish out of the water. That's sick as fuck. Cats do that with their claws. Chlorfleaned. All right, now that chlor is fleened, I'm gonna take a quick ad break. I'm gonna get my water so I can hydrate for y'all. And I'll be right back. Let me switch screens. La la la. Wait! Okay. Alright, I'm back. I used to tape and watch Paleo World, but all my VHSs are gone. Dude. One of my favorite things to get out of the library was the Walking with Dinosaurs VHS tapes. So, the special itself was on like 3 tapes. So whenever I would like take it to friends' houses, because that was weird. I'd be like, alright, this, like one part of it had underwater dinosaurs or aquatic reptiles. Another part had flying ones, etc. Kids these days will never know the despair of watching a tape so much it wore out. Oh my god. When I first moved out here, and I lived at Jem's family's house for a little while, we watched Atlantis on VHS, and my family had it on DVD. So the VHS was so dark, like we couldn't see anything during the Leviathan scene, which I guess was more true to life, or true to the situation, but it was so funny, like we couldn't see the whole damn monster. All of my show and tells were about dinosaurs. People joke if you're autistic, you were either the horse person, the train person, or the dino person. I was 100% the dino person. I was the dino person. Jem was all 3 of those people. I was a huge fan of dragons. I still am. But like Animal Planet when I was in elementary school they produced a special that was essentially like, what would it be like if dragons were real? And like there was a whole like fake plot in it about a guy who discovered a corpse, like a mummified corpse of a dragon, like a European dragon. And they were getting into like all the hypothetical science of like how dragons would work. Like they would eat platinum and chew on it, and like so there would be deposits in their teeth that would ignite stomach gases. That would be the fire, like how they breathed fire. And they would have cooked meat alongside, well not alongside, but contemporaneously, is that a word? At the same time period as man would have started to cook meat. I remember that show. My mom literally thought it was real. I'm like, no, it's not. But I didn't think it was real, but I was obsessed with it. Like, I would watch it. I got it on DVD. I watched it constantly. I had a not a novelization, but basically like a picture book version of it that I got at the book fair. I got it in the hopes that it would have more information in it, and it didn't. But, oh my god, there's a part in it where like the European dragons do like a death drop. Like, basically like an eagle mating ritual where like they lock talons and they drop out of the sky. They had that like, but dragons were doing it. It was sick as fuck. I love dragons. Ew. That was probably too fast. That bites. I hate when you get into something and you obsessively get every book and thing only to learn that there is no new lore. Yeah, especially like just for that series specifically. I was really interested in it because it was tackling like the science shit. Like, because I was like, I know dragons as fairy tales, but if they were real, I would want to know how the science would check out. And I basically got just like a picture book with stills from the fucking show. It sucked. But what, I had like the Dragonology book. Oh my god. I was reading like every dragon book in the library. There was one called Dealing with Dragons that I read in 7th grade that actually like changed my life a little bit because there was the dragons had a hierarchy system that had gendered words in it that were devoid of actual gender. So the king of the dragons could be like a female dragon. It was just a title. It had nothing to do with the gender of the dragon. And that like blew my little fucking mind. My 12-year-old mind was blown wide open. I became trans that day. Like there was no way. Like and I think the King of the Dragons was also elected. There was some kind of campaign or something. Dragons understand more than we do. They do. Oh, it's tempting to want to do that, but I'm gonna keep working on the floor. Oh god, look at this. It's so bright, it's so colorful. It makes me so happy. Yeah, I think this is the, like, spongy stuff that's made out of shoes, like sneakers. When you get rid of them, they're recycled into this stuff. It'll cushion your fall when you fall off the swing set. The book I was obsessed with as a kid were these dinosaur picture books where each species had a story in their life, and the books were bound so poorly they started falling apart. Oh. I had this massive book about dinosaurs. It was bigger than any of my textbooks in 5th grade. It was a chonker. It was actually like the size of my backpack. I struggled to take it to school. Oh, and those Charlie Brown encyclopedias. Oh, sick. For a second, I thought you meant Encyclopedia Brown. I was like, yeah, I used to read those. It drove my parents nuts to find every book in the collection. That's dedication, though. Like, I gotta appreciate that. Wow, so clean. That's green. That's a different color. I was like, I knew how to draw one dinosaur when I was a kid, and it was just like a generic sauropod because I was obsessed with Neopets at the time, and I really liked Chombi, who's kind of a sauropod, but he has Stegosaurus plates on his back. So he was like a perfect dinosaur. And I was really mad because Chombi is a limited edition pet, which meant that it would only be available to make as, like, you couldn't just make a Chombi. There had to be, like, a special condition that would, I forget if it had to be, like, Chombi Day or something, but you couldn't just make one, and I was obsessed with getting one. I did not have one. And people would be such dicks about their Chombi. So I would draw, like, generic sauropod with back plates, a la Stegosaurus. And it would just be, like, a dinosaur. And I would be obsessed with drawing with gel pens because I liked how they looked and I like how smooth they were on the paper. I actually just downloaded like a brush set recently that was all like modeled after school supplies. So like ballpoint pens, gel pens, stuff like that. Was there any media from a kid that you vaguely remember and it drives you mad trying to remember what it was? Let me think about that. Because most stuff I've been pretty good at finding, but there has to be something. Because I found that fucking Barbie nail designer game. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm saving this for like the season 1 finale of Tales from My Computer Cabinet, but I found a fucking 100 game freeware software collection that I had as a child. Like, it's all demos, and I found it. And I'm really excited to show it to you guys, but I'm holding off because I want it to be like the last thing in Tales from My Computer Cabinet to be shown off before I move to a different theme for the games I pick. There was a game your brother played and I don't know what it was. What's yours, hun, that you can't find? And Aspera, we can all try to find it together. Oh, actually, maybe this isn't like an obscure thing, but I have never been able to remember what it belonged to. But I remember watching a movie, and some kid, like, it's a live action movie, and some kid is talking to like ghosts, either ghosts or angels. They're the spirit of the departed. And they ask like where he's from, and he says he's from a town called Los Angeles. And one of the ghosts is like, oh, a city of lost angels. And that's all I remember from it. It's a computer game where we played as kids, and you do adventure and puzzle stuff as a person in a medieval castle, and there was a wizard who was an anthro fox. I have no idea. There was a book I used to check out in my elementary's library, and it was about this family who adopted a kitten, and they lived in an apartment, and the cat lived with them, and I can't recall what it was called, except that it was the cat's name. Huh. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I was reading, like, pet husbandry manuals in elementary school. There were books in the library about, like, how to keep a hamster, and I was reading those. I was reading cat husbandry books when I was in 6th grade because I really wanted a cat. I could swear it begins with an S, but it pops in my memory off and on. Okay, we got the blue. Blue chlorphylline. Let's move on to this green. I would read anything if you gave it to me. I really liked reading. I still really like reading, but I don't have time to sit down and do it, so I still listen to audiobooks. I actually just got done with Jeanette McCurdy's memoir. It's really rough, though. I would definitely check, like, the content warnings before reading or listening to it, but I thought it was a really, really powerful book. It was really, really good. I like listening to, like, I like reading young adult fiction still. Adult fiction, every time I try to read it, there's, like, just slurs in it. And it doesn't necessarily, like, the content matter isn't necessarily more adult outside of that. It's She went through some shit, but good for her for getting this out there. I know. Oh my god. Every now and then there would be like a part in the book where I just like would stop working and like just look up from what I was doing and be like, holy shit. And the audiobook is narrated by Jeanette. So I think that lends a lot to the story. Or when I say story, it makes it sound like it's made up. It's not made up though. Like, I think I listened to his Dark Materials for the first time a couple years ago. It was before COVID, but I was still listening to it at work. And that is a really good book series. Highly recommend if you haven't read it already. And I would check out the series on HBO too, but I would recommend the book first. Or the book series first. Look at that. You found it? You found the fox thing? Hold on to that title, because we can check it out in Tales from My Computer Cabinet. It's called Puzzle Castle? Oh my god, that sounds perfect for me. Did you ever play Gizmos and Gadgets? I remember trying to get, like, the best fucking dirigible with the coolest decal, like, little flames on it. Oh my god, I could stop the job here and get a really nice amount of money. Haha. Fucking hell, I just watched the intro screen and it awakened something in you. That's what playing through Little Howie did to me. I was just like, oh, I remember all of this. Help. Oh, Little Howie. Where's Barfhead? I hear it, or I see it. Where is he? I'm sorry. Your Barfhead has not... Barfhead is canceled. I don't know what happened. The Phantom Barfhead. He's calling me Barfhead in my heart. Here, let me try redeeming that. That's not right. Introducing channel points, like I don't have them. There we go. There's your Barfhead. Maybe it was the narrator version, because there is a random chance that that happens. And he's a little quiet. He's so quiet. It's a quiet Barfhead. He's saying it like under his breath. he's making fun of me, and he thinks I can't hear him. Do you think I should have other Little Howie themed, Little Howie themed redeems? Could have one where, like, I have to change my name for the rest of the stream. Not like my actual Twitch name, because you have to wait a while between name changes on Twitch. But like one that's like, you have to go by Pineapple Princess the rest of the stream. You have to be Scooter for the rest of the stream. God, I could get lost in The floor alone, we haven't even tackled like any of the equipment on here. You'd give us that much power. What is the streamer but the modern day court jester? I don't know. I'm always feeling like I need to innovate. Cause like, I have friends, I have acquaintances who are doing like crazy shit with their streams, and I'm like, hi, you wanna give me $5? Like, I feel like I feel like I need to step it up or something. But like, for all these people, content creation is their job. Like, where is their dirty green floor? So like, they have time to work on that stuff. You have to have you have a 9 to 5 to contend with already. I know. I feel like I can't keep up. You found the book? Hell yeah. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. I'm playing Pressure Washer. Pressure Washer Simulator. I knew it had a baby. Wait. Was the name of the cat Censor? What? What's the name of the cat? I'm gonna call him Do. So, cause he can do whatever he wants to do. Oh yeah, links are censored as a security measure. It's socks? No fucking way. I can't believe they wrote a book about Socks BX. Okay, green. Done. Get this yellow bit. By Beverly Cleary. Oh, I know Beverly Cleary. I have to make sure I'm not confusing her with another author, though. There were a lot of children's authors that, like, kinda get messed up in my head, or, like, confused. Did she didn't do Junie B. Jones, did she? I used to mill through Junie B. Jones books for AR points. But they're only worth half a point. I'd read one in the beginning of the day, take my AR test, return it, and check out a new one after lunch and do the same thing. Beezus and Ramona. Oh, yeah. I think that's been adapted into something recently. Or all of the Ramona series. I couldn't get into Ramona. Do you mean Junie B. Jones? I used to read Junie B. Jones. I still remember our teacher reading to us the Judy Blume series with Super Fudge. I don't think I read Super Fudge either. You guys remember reading Frindle? The book is so weird. Or at least what I remember of it. They just made up a word. and they just basically strong-armed everyone into using it or accepting it as an alternate word for pen. Who's texting me? Oh, now I'm washing. That unlocked a memory. See, I don't remember a lot of Frindle because it was read to us. There was one book though that was read to us that I actually like was obsessed with. I went to the library and checked it out myself so I could read it like faster than the teacher. And that was Tale of Despero. Tale of Despero is one of my favorite books. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Blubber, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. I remember Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. But did you read Monster Blood and Monster Blood 2? I was too scared to read Monster Blood. I think Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret was about menstruation and that was controversial. Yes. I mean, talking about that stuff should not be controversial at all. Like, half the population is gonna go through it. They need to be ready. They need to know. I didn't know. I thought I was dying. Cause, when it happens the first time, it's not like a little dot. It's like, you are bleeding. And I was like at summer camp. I didn't know who to talk to. I was like, hi, I'm dying. Yay. It's a thing people go through, like waiting at the DMV and getting soda up your nose, right? People are annoying. Having it happen with no foreknowledge is super scary, right? Socks is a children's novel written by Beverly Cleary, originally illustrated by Beatrice Darwin, and published in 1973. It won the William Allen White Children's Book Award. The title character of the book would eventually become the name for Socks Clinton, the cat of U.S. President Bill Clinton, and family. That's sweet. I forgot they had a cat. Presidential pets being like a phenomenon within themselves is kind of fascinating. Like, there were people obsessed with Obama's dog, Bo. I still have a Socks plush in a box on my dresser. Socks was huge in the 90s. I didn't know anything about Socks. I only knew Spot the dog, and, my dad gave me his copy of Mouse on the Motorcycle, and I liked that book a lot. And then there's one where he goes to summer camp. And then there's one where he goes to school with Ralph. You know what kids' book sucks though? Stuart Little sucks shit. Stuart Little is like the worst book I've ever read. Honey, I don't think your parents liked Socks' parents' politics. Oh, no, they didn't like the Clintons. You mean Socks the cat that was the Clinton's cat was popular and had a plush in the 90s. I thought you meant the book cat. I was like, that's weird how they made like a bunch of toys and shit of the cat in a book. And I was like, I don't know, I'd Spot the dog. Yes, the president's cat. Shut up! I thought they meant the book. Book characters get plush sometimes. Winnie the Pooh, hello. They even made a SNES game that got canceled into vaporware. What? How is it I have found the game? We found all of them tonight, everybody. What is the game, Miss Vera? We've won. WizKid. I've never heard of that. Something I'm excited to show off in Tales from My Computer Cabinet is computer programs I played with as if they were toys that were not toys. So like, basically like graphic design programs. There was one that was like an American Greetings card maker. It was a weird Amiga game from the 90s. For a second, I thought you were talking about, Kid Pics? You collect kittens to row to the final island. That's cute. See, I don't have a lot of lost media because I think the whole reason I got into this, like streaming for one, but before I knew about streaming, I wanted to make videos about shit I found as a kid, like dumbass lost media that I thought nobody else would know about. Like the hunting game, when I streamed that. Like, I'm actually shocked because the VOD for the hunting game, somebody who played it actually commented on it and was like, I used to play this all the time as a kid, and like, did you know that you can like change the sights on the rifle with the arrow keys? Like, they don't explain it to you, but you can do that. Like, and that his dad was like a hunting safety instructor and like knew all sorts of stuff about like hunting safety. Like, I was really shocked to like see another person who played the game. Did you know President Andrew Johnson took care of some mice he found in his room? No, but that's awesome. Which president had like a lot of pets? I want to say it was Eisenhower. Oh, but yeah, my mom loved Barney not the dinosaur. She did not like Barney the dinosaur. She loved Barney George W. Bush's Scotty dog. Small blue floor cleaned. I think that's all of the floor. Awesome. Theodore Roosevelt. Ah. Okay. I want to save you for last because I love you. So we're going... Let's do the bench. I feel like we've earned a bench. Tina's kids had multiple animals like birds, reptiles, cat. Yeah, I think that's maybe who I'm thinking of. I don't know why I said Eisenhower. They're all war criminals. It's fine. Oh my god, look at this bench! I want to say there's a White House pony at one point. Does that mean the White House has stables? That's awesome. Because, like, even if you didn't own a horse, what if you just wanted to ride one? Or maybe the horse had to be kept at a stable that was, like, off property. I don't know. Macaroni the pony? That's awesome. I mean, I'm not a huge horse person. I was like the anti-horse girl. There was a point in my life when I drew a lot of horses, though, because I thought their legs were weird and I wanted to get a hang of them. I also watched a lot of Little House on the Prairie. Because my parents thought it would instill good values in me. Gifted by LBJ. The Bidens just bought a cat, didn't they? Oh, I didn't know that! There's a Biden cat now? That's awesome. Good for them. Bench cleaned! Hell yeah. There's another bench. There's another bench. Let's go over to the trash can, though. The Bidens had also promised they would get a cat and fulfilled that promise in January 2022. Dolan didn't have pets because he's inhuman. He's just weird, man. I think if Dolan had a dog or something, it would be the kind that, like, he would just, like, let shit all over the place. Bin. Rotate. I'm trying to get in there. Where's the dirt? Oh, it's in it. Ew. There. He'd have like an imp or something. So weird living up here, like the presidential helicopter passes overhead off and on from the residential home. And I think nothing about it now. Wasn't there a vid of an eagle attacking him? Yes! There was. I'm used to paracopters passing by. Are those the ones that the paramedics take to the hospital? I'm not very well versed on my aircraft. The eagle could sense the evil. No, they're the dual-bladed ones. Oh, like that kind of para. I don't think there's any other kind of para. Don't listen to me. Actually, do listen to me. Because it's nice to know that you're listening to me. But he had no pets, so every animal could sense evil. My man eats, like... It's weird to see, like, an actual tasteless human in real life, but my dude eats his steak well done with ketchup. Like, I might not eat a lot of steak, but I know that you need to treat, like, the steak with respect. Like, I don't even have to go political to tell you that he's like a dipshit. Bench cleaned. Theodore Roosevelt has just a straight up lion as a pet? Yeah, that seems like a very him thing to do. I like that this picture of Gooey is just getting closer as time passes. Alright. I need to clean this outer ring too, but I kind of want to break from the floor. Oh my god! What is on this? That's gross, man. What happened to you? Bench, it's okay. You're gonna be safe now, Bench. Dust ball. Fucking shit explosion. Mass food poisoning incident. I wasn't aware how big these levels could be, but then it has two-player multiplayer. Yes. It would be fun to play this with a second person. The Bushes had a cat? I'm sure they did. Presidential cats are interesting because, like, I guess besides socks, cats don't really have a lot of stage presence a lot of the time. Like, dogs, not to their detriment, of course, like, I also don't have a lot of stage presence a lot of the time, but there have only been 3 presidents who didn't have pets. Johnson was one, but he took care of those mice, so I think that counts. Good guy Johnson. I'm assuming Mr. Trump is another one. Get in here. Socks, I think, did because he used to go outside like Larry the Cat. Oh, okay, so he went outside. That would affect a lot. Because, like, since cats spend a lot of the time inside, at least here, they don't have a lot of opportunities to be photographed. And become media sensations. In addition to traditional pets, the list includes some animals normally considered livestock or working animals that have a close association with presidents or their families. Presidents have often been given exotic animals from foreign dignitaries. Occasionally these are kept, but often they are promptly donated to a zoo. Did you know that every panda in the United States is on loan from China? Like, they have to be given back at some point? That's all pandas on the planet? Oh god. Even the wild ones? Well, I guess they live in China. Okay, let's do this floor ring because it's gonna be annoying. Yeah, look at that. But it should clean up pretty easy. Oh, the outside. George Washington had foxhounds named Sweet Lips and Scentwell. That's so 1700s. I don't think Sweet Lips is ever an appropriate name for anything. Sweet Lips. Oops. Next pet I get, I'm gonna name Sweet Lips. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. I want a dog one day. I want a dog. I don't want to call it Sweet Lips. Maybe its middle name could be Sweet Lips. Scentwell is a really interesting name also. Jefferson had grizzlies? Dude! Where are you gonna keep them? Where does a grizzly bear sit? Anywhere it wants! It's so funny. Socks had the book was a weekly reader. Oh, like the little magazines. Yeah. 2 grizzly bear cubs, male and female pair, gifted from Captain Zebulon Pike, deeming them too dangerous and troublesome for me to keep. Jefferson gave them to Charles Wilson Peel for his museum in Philadelphia. A museum doesn't have live things in them. What happened to them? What happened, Jeff? It doesn't say. But I think we know. I think it's fascinating that my zoom button just decides not to work half the time. I hope it's fixed, or I hope I can fix it by Wednesday. I probably won't be able to. It just kind of has a mind of its own. It's like every time I update OBS, some dumb shit happens to that button specifically. Here's a shocker. Andrew Jackson had fighting cocks. We're talking about animals. It's a book you could use for the reader program. Oh, are you doing like a thing, like a reader program with kids? Polly or Paul, gray parrot, learned to swear, later attended Jackson's funeral but had to be removed due to loud and persistent profanity. I'm assuming an African gray? Those are very smart. Correct. Bird said, fuck the system. Solidarity. I hate shit like this. Like these rings, they suck. Especially because of this friggin', hang on. This weird, like, I have to get really close to the fence, and I can't get in there. More or less clean over here. Buchanan had an eagle? No further info available. We're just doing spot checks now. Oh, see, here's some. Oh! Never mind. I found it. Okay. Oh shit, this is all dirty too. That strafe. Lincoln had a good list. Right now, kids are growing up with books like Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Captain Underpants. I grew up with Captain Underpants. That shit's funny as fuck. It's got Flip-O-Rama in it. Nancy and Nanko, goats. Jack, turkey. Fido, dog assassinated by a drunk with a knife a few months after Lincoln's assassination. Wait, are there multiple Fidos? Fido became a generic name for a dog because of Lincoln's famous dog. I didn't know that. Tabby and Dixie cats. Lincoln once remarked that Dixie is smarter than my whole cabinet. Horse. Horse. Old Bob. Horse. Oh, the second dog. Possibly. I won't say it, but... Captain Underpants is also super pro art and nurturing creativity. Yes. Captain Underpants slaps super good. Okay, we got all the benches. We got this. Okay, let's do... Oh man, this thing's huge. Okay, let's do the dinosaur. Oh yeah, look at that. You're gonna be so clean. I know the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid is super active on Twitter and is very understanding and chats with people. See, we live in an age now where we can just talk to authors, which is both good and bad. But it does, like, you do understand them a little better, and it's good that they can answer your questions. If you have, like, a funny lore question or something. Several presidents had mockingbirds. Interesting. Look at the scales on this motherfucker. Oh my god, speaking of scales, did you see that there's gonna be a little gator plush? With removable sword and shield and hat? I am so excited. Desert P's playthrough of that game is so cute. And the whole game is really cute. There's a surprising amount of content in it too, for a little game. Sorry, I'm transfixed by this fucking dinosaur. Harrison had a goat called Whiskers who would pull kids around on a fucking cart. That's funny. See, you say that he did the Meatwad voice for the gator, but to me that voice is just Lil Howie. Like, I know it's Meatwad to everybody, but to me it's Howie. Although the Meatwad voice is a little scrunklier than Howie. But it's such an impossible, like, I can't imitate that voice at all. Now I can't hear it as anything but Meatwad. Oh, the Teddy Roosevelt list? Oh, word. It's bath time for a dinosaur. at this. Look at this dinosaur. It's called the Stego Slide! Now I kinda wish I had more than soup for dinner. Get a little hungry. I'll have a snack later. That soup is really good, but it does need like a sandwich with it. Josiah Badger. During a railroad tour of the West, the president acquired 2-week-old Josiah at a stop in Sharon Springs, Kansas. I also have a book called Pegu, which is about a hermit crab trying to find a bigger shell. That's cute. I mean, we're talking about books. Makes sense to me. One of my favorite books when I was little, that I liked, like, you know, story time era book, was one about, like, a little house that, got, like, abandoned, and, like, a city was built around her. And then she got, like, hauled off to the countryside and fixed up. Fierce one-legged rooster. All the illustrations in it are straight up biological. Oh, that's cool. Because usually for children's books, they're usually kind of cordoned into a certain style. I'm obsessed with this dinosaur. Oh my god, you're so dirty. Wilson, sheep. Numbering 48 at its peak, the flock kept the White House lawn trimmed in the most economical way. That's wool being sold to the Red Cross. That's pretty cool. My favorite book was a pop-up book by Edward Gorey called The Dwindling Party, where a family gets picked off one by monsters until only one kid is left. I think another book I liked when I was a kid, I mean, I don't remember what it was called, but I know we still have it at my mom's house. It was an alphabet book. And this book must have been like from the 60s or 70s. Just the illustrations were so nice, and all of the words in the book were in cursive. So it just, like, I don't know, it felt cozy to read. Rebecca. Raccoon. Rebecca was intended for a Thanksgiving feast. First Lady Grace had a treehouse built for her instead. Reuben, a male raccoon acquired as a companion for Rebecca, soon escaped and not recovered. He didn't want to be tied down. It's so strange coming upon a generation that can't read cursive anymore. I mean, I can read it. I haven't had to use it since doing my SAT. Because you are supposed to, like, write a statement about how you won't cheat on it in cursive on the back. But that's like the last time I ever used cursive. Cursive capital Qs are just evil. How did you guys learn capital Q in cursive? Because the version I learned looked like a 2. Capital Q looked like a 2. Yeah. What was that about, man? I was talking about this song this morning. We've reached the part of the playlist where we're at, like... Wait. Can I go under the... Yes! Wait. actively unlearned that shit immediately. Sorry, sir. Gotta get a little up close and personal. God, he's gonna be so clean. He's gonna be so clean and beautiful. Ugh. What? I was saying that song this morning. I was saying that song sounded like Sonic Springs. Meow. What's the worst? We're just talking about like school and books and shit. What's the worst assigned reading you ever had to do? Like novel that you had to read for school? You won't believe what my answer is. Wuthering Heights. Yeah, I know that you don't like that book. I've never read it. I'm off to bed. Have a wonderful night, Aspera. Thank you again for the the recurring sub. Have a wonderful night. Robinson Crusoe in college. I wouldn't have expected to see a college book. I had to read The Hobbit. I had to read The Hobbit for school in 9th grade. Well, when you're an English major. I might have been into The Hobbit if I read it on my own time, but having to read The Hobbit for school pissed me off, especially because I had to write like little diaries at the end of every chapter. Be like, what are you thinking right now? And my only thought would ever be like, where's Gandalf? Where the hell is that wizard? He said he would help me. That book was boring as hell, but then halfway through the author just starts over from scratch and you have to basically reread the entire story again. What the hell? Oh yeah, I never got into the reason that Stuart Little is bullshit. Okay, there's a lot of reasons why Stuart Little is bullshit. Let's start from the beginning. In the book, Stuart Little is just born like that. He's a person. He's a biological product of Mrs. Little. Because the dad was cucked by a mouse. Yeah. He is a person, allegedly, that just looks like that. He's just mouse-sized and as intelligent as a boy George's age. And he has a tail. But he's a human. I like the movies well enough. The movies are actually improvements to the fucking book. The book, E.B. White just got bored of it. He got bored writing this fucking book, so he ends it in a way, like, that isn't an ending. Like, it has Stuart setting off in a matchbox boat down a river to find Margalo, who is in the book. Margalo leaves, and Stuart goes to find her, and just sets off on a journey to find her. He just fucks off. That's the end of the book. Because E.B. White didn't want to write it anymore. Stuart Little sucks. The movie is okay. It's got Nathan Lane in it. Wait, I want to look at that stego slide. I'm going to admire my handiwork. Look at that. He looks great. He's purple. And I'm going to go up the stairs. Whee! I just want an excuse to ogle it. Look, it's cute! Alright. Now we have to do this big thing, and I don't want to. I've been avoiding the slide for the jungle gym. Put a kiss on his baby head. I wouldn't kiss him. He's probably got like all sorts of shit on him. Actual literal. You don't know what those kids have done to him. I have just cleaned him, so you can kiss him while he's clean. But once you kiss him, then it begins. Not anymore because you washed him. There's no soap in this machine. There's no soap in this gun. Okay, since the slide looks clean and isn't, I can only assume what lies beneath. Oh lord, hello. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, in the crannies. Oh, this. Ugh. Yuck. Under the slide crannies is a prime spot for a wasp to build a nest. Oh no! They didn't tell me there'd be enemies in this game. Watch out for rich white people. Oh, not that wasp. Alright, let's get in here. Thanks. I mean, still watch out for rich white people. Oh yeah, of course. I'm always looking out. With my hat in hands to be like, please, sir, may I have $1? And they say, no! No one wants to work anymore. And I say, that's not true. I work 40 plus hours a week. Slide cleaned. Okay. Let's do the... Hi, Emily. Did you hear the Seinfeld AI milkshake ducked and got taken off of Twitter? Oh no! I'm so tired of people saying that. People don't want to work. Exactly! People will work if you pay them. But if they're making more off unemployment than they would at a job, why would they stop collecting unemployment? Like, let's use our brains. Let's use our minds. You've been here quietly, I know. But hello all the same. It just has to be the Zoomer's fault. Yeah. Swap the AI over to an aux system because the other one went down. Oh, shit. That sucks. Was it Kramer who milkshake ducked? I feel like it would be him. I actually don't know anything about Seinfeld, so... It was Larry. To get around all of this crap. I don't think this is gonna be so bad, actually. There's just a lot of parts. And getting around things, because these stools are fixed to the ground. I didn't even know who that guy was. Kramer guy, Michael Richards. See, that's a guy that actually, like, got canceled. I wish canceling people worked. But all it is like people being, like, yelling, I'm being silenced on their giant-ass fucking platform that they still have. Getting on the national news, I'm being silenced. Really? Because everybody can hear you right now. Dave Chappelle is so silenced by his giant bags of Netflix money. Didn't he win a Grammy? Like, just now? For being a fucking douchebag? Well, not for being a douchebag. But his album that won is full of douchebag content. If the award was for being a douche, it may as well be. No, it wasn't for that. But it's okay, they gave someone who is trans a Grammy too, so it balances out. I see. Dave Chappelle and J.K. Rowling are probably, like, some of the people who, like... God, I hope I don't get, like, in trouble. No, I'm not saying anything, like, very bad. They're just, like, people who, like, take it upon themselves to be the worst person they possibly can, like, on purpose. Not because they have an agenda, not, like, I put them beyond, like, politicians I don't agree with, because they think that they're doing the right thing. These are people who are just being bad. They're being mean. Dave Chappelle, baby, you're allowed to have opinions. You're not telling people to do violence to them. Only in Minecraft. Dave Chappelle's wild to me because we watch him in English class as an example of good comedy. You should watch Carrot Top. No. I grew up on the Redneck Comedy Hour, so I'm probably not the best person to go to for an opinion about comedy. Money changes people, I guess, or enables their worst qualities. Yeah. They remind me of people who have, like, to promote Jilly Juice and think they have every right opinion on how the body works. Right? Just watch John Mulaney. Or not. Oh my god. The John Mulaney thing sucked really bad. And I know putting celebrities on pedestals is not a good practice, and I wouldn't suggest it ever. Especially when it comes to, like, streamers or comedians. Comedians especially. But I took issue with people being nosy about John Mulaney's relationship. Like his divorce, his affair, his baby with another woman. Because that felt extremely parasocial. It felt weird to feel a sense of betrayal from a person having an affair. When your whole brand is loving your wife, you better not be a cheater. Yeah, that's good business, Ned. Ned Try Guys. But when he advocated for Dave Chappelle, that I did feel a sense of betrayal with. Just cause, like, come on, dude. And then, like, Dave Chappelle goes on to say some dumbass bullshit. Like... So it's not even like the instances are isolated. It's not like, oh, John Mulaney's not advocating for transphobia. When the person he's advocating for is hugely transphobic. And makes it a part of his brand now. He just doesn't shut up about it. We're like, hey, Dave, could you do some comedy? Sure. Says awful things. Because he knows that he's just riling people up at this point. And that's gonna get views on him. It's dumb. I used to do stand-up comedy. In college. I enjoyed it, actually. Like, it kind of felt nice to, like, be on stage and, like, make people laugh. I like making people laugh. But I stopped, mainly because I didn't have the time to work on it. Like, I had school. I just remember his messed up bit on consent. I don't remember a bit about that. Are we talking about John Mulaney or Dave Chappelle? Regardless, that's not cool. Chappelle, okay. I like making people laugh. I left comedy because I didn't have time to work on my material, but also, I don't know, I didn't like the sausage fest it was just me and a bunch of guys, and they wanted me to stay. They wanted me to, like, they kept asking me back, like, in years after that, just because, like, I was extremely valuable to them as a girl comic. It was when two people were about to have sex and their forms were involved in the foreplay. Oh, there were forms. I thought you meant their forms. And I'm like the pubis, the vagoober. I don't know. I got bored hanging around dudes all the time. And also, in therapy and stuff, I was unpacking that my desire to make people laugh is just like I want people to be on my good side. I don't want people to leave me or dislike me, so I constantly was just thinking of funny things to say. And I wasn't being, like, vulnerable with anybody or an actual person. I was just coming up with quips all the time, and it was mentally exhausting. Comedy doesn't seem great for women. There's some great women comics out there. There are great queer comics, too. You know what? I should actually... Well, Nicole Byer is an extremely funny woman comic. Oh, The Environment. Oh. That's true. Well, that's the magic of the world we live in, where the block button is literally right there, you know? You can curate your communities, you can curate your experiences, you can curate your entourage. You have a great sense of humor even if you don't do. Okay, thank you. But when I was hanging out with people in like high school, I was the funny one. I was the quote-unquote funny one because it was the only thing I knew how to be. And it still didn't get me invited to everything. It didn't get me, it didn't get me a prom date. It didn't get, not to get, like, vulnerable or anything, but at the end of the day, I was forgettable. I didn't really have value to people unless they wanted something to laugh at. And I didn't want that to be a huge part of my identity anymore. But I do like making people laugh, but I want it to be about having fun. And I don't want it to be about, like, trying to fit in or getting people to like me. You know? Ew, I'm leaving, like, footprints. Wait, should I be up here? No, I want to clean the bottom. What am I doing? You always want your bottom clean. I think stand-up comedian has been probably like the most confident I've ever been when somebody asked me, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I wanted to be a comedian when I was, like, in middle school. I wanted to be a comedian for a really long time. And was told that that wouldn't be, like, a fulfilling, or, like, a stable career. So I kind of just, like, went off it. And then when college came around, there was a comedy club, like a student organization. So I joined it, and I had a lot of fun. Zoe is now stepping on my phone and trying to block people. Well, she's trying to curate her own experiences, her own communities, just like I was saying. I like these little chat. I like this little chat sesh we're having. Cleaning a thing, we're talking. I mean, I like Multi-Monday too. But maybe we can stagger Multi-Monday and we can do something quiet like this too. The only community she wants is my lap. Oh, but she loves you. Babe, she loves you. You would deny her? You would deny her your love? Oopsie. This frustrates me. I wish I had a whole month off because I'm finally starting to feel more active and now I have to get ready to go to work tomorrow. Oh. This love is making me anxious because it's pacing and won't settle. I'm sorry. I'm not excited to go to work tomorrow. Today was pretty chill, but it still dragged on because people weren't doing shit they were supposed to do at the end of the day. And I had to, like, text my boss, who wasn't in the office anymore. Or wasn't clocked in anymore. She was at physical therapy. because people weren't answering my questions. I'm gonna hate next week because so many people are gonna call off for the Super Bowl and work will back up. My boss actually sends out a message every year, the weekend before the Super Bowl. Like, I expect to see everyone in here on Monday. It's so funny. Like, people call off for football? No, people call off because they get wasted watching football. I have dishes I need to do. I was finally able to clean out the tub. I was cleaning out the bathroom stuff and tossing things out, and now it's like, nope, work. Yeah. It's hard for me to be, like, industrious on the weekday. I usually have to, like, do all my chores and stuff on the weekend, which is why I don't stream on the weekend usually. Because I'm like, I gotta clean the tub. I gotta clean the toilet. I gotta clean the kitchen. It's hard, like, maintaining a living space takes a lot of work. Most of my work as a salesman is also cleaning out the back room and hauling merch. So it's like I come home, I don't want to do it. Yeah. It was like that when I worked at Target, at Starbucks. Target, Starbucks. Starget. That mentality, like, creeps into you. You'll, like, be at home and you'll be like, who fucking closed yesterday? And it's like, oh, it's me, I live here. This looks pretty good. Oh, Lord. I was in bed all Friday and Saturday because it's super cold and I didn't want to budge much. Oh my god, that was me on Saturday. I was freezing. And I got bundled up in blankets. I really wanted to watch some stream. I don't think it was the gnome stream. Maybe it was Friday, it was really cold. But I was like falling asleep on the couch at like 8:30. Oh fuck, I forgot the ceiling. Okay, well I'm gonna get this wall first. And Jem kept poking me like, hun, you're snoring. And I'm like, no, I'm awake! I wanna be awake, it's 8:30! Okay. Let's get down on the ground, crawl around. Not gonna lie, Spamton makes me not ashamed to tell everyone I'm a salesman. I mean, people love Spamton. Nowadays, when I hear salesman, I don't associate it with, like, scammy guys. Now, if you said you sold cars, I would not trust you. I'd be like, okay. Now all I have to do is promote myself to scummy car salesman. No! Now, salespeople are still kind of sus in my book in general. I guess my mind doesn't, like, jump as quick to, like, they are... I'm suspicious of influencers. Like, when I have friends who have sponsorships, I'm not suspicious of them. But when, like, somebody has, like, a lifestyle brand, and they're like, I love fucking... Oh, God. Who's the people who had the food poisoning scandal recently? Pink sauce? Well, that's one of them. Not HelloFresh. Fuck, that's gonna... There was a maintenance phase episode about it. Damn it. It's like... Oh, there we go. It's like... Life Coach is my sus career. Oh, definitely. It was those Daily Harvest. Yes, it was them. Daily Harvest and their fucking lentil crumbles that gave people like liver failure. Like, when people's whole job is to pretend that they like something, it bums me out. What the hell? Yeah, look into it. It's a thing. I don't think it was full-on liver failure, but their liver levels were very high. I don't think it was the lentils themselves specifically, but some sort of product within them, like a stabilizing flour. Because it was organic, right? So it's not gonna be like xanthan gum or something. But the problem was, like, they're still under investigation about it. But this stuff is actually extremely hard to regulate. Ow! Oh, thank you. There. I've had some water. This stuff is really hard to regulate because, like, since, food delivery people, or rather, meal kit systems aren't restaurants, they can't be, they can't be inspected on a state level, but there's some other reason why they can't be inspected on a federal level. So there's like some bureaucracy, like weird shit going on that keeps this from being, investigated. Not that like they're taking advantage of loopholes, it's just like nobody knows where their jurisdiction is. Not gonna lie, I hate the pink sauce lady. She got famous well, I guess I didn't hear about it until there was a problem. People shouldn't want your thing after it makes people sick. Also, you can't sell food out of your house if you have pets. Like, you gotta follow the rules, baby. My mom wanted to start an in-home business where she sold, like, British baked goods, and couldn't because she has a dog. Like, she'd have to get an entirely new, like, building. So after her pink sauce was a hazard, a company took her brand in and now is gonna sell it at Walmart. That sucks! Isn't her shitty sauce, like, ranch with some dragon fruit in it or some shit? To make it pink? Pretty much. Is this not, that's not clean. Where are you dirty? Oh, I bet it's like, oh yeah. But she refused to get testing and regulations on the FDA when people did test her sauce and went like, nah dog, this is gonna hurt people. She played the victim. Yeah, because she was like, I didn't know you had to do FDA regulated stuff when you're selling a sauce out of your own home. Yeah. If your home is a place of business, it has to be up to code. You have to follow the regulations. Also, tic-tac-toe boxes? Fuck yeah. Oh good, I was worried these were gonna spin. New. Just general knowledge of it. My dad was a chef and the FDA is strict in the US because we don't want another outbreak. Right. Food poisoning is very difficult to track nowadays because of the way food is like distributed. For example, let's say you work at the apple processing plant and salmonella gets in the water and you wash all the apples with salmonella. So all those apples have salmonella on them. It used to be that those apples might go to a few local grocery stores, and then when a case of salmonella is reported, they can be like, okay, well, recall or put out a thing about the apples that came from those grocery stores. Now, people are getting like meal kits and pre-sliced apples with the caramel dip or something, and you can get that nationally. So that means those same apples are being cut up, scrambled around, and then being flown across the country to everywhere. Like, it's so hard to track that shit now. That, I mean, obviously it goes without saying, please wash your produce. But, I mean, I got food poisoning this last week from a restaurant. And I don't know if it was, like, I got a buffalo chicken wrap. I don't know if it was the chicken that did it. I don't know if it was the lettuce on it that did it. But people associate meat with food poisoning a lot of the time, but it can really be anything. Just be careful. Maybe power wash them. Perhaps. Oh, Lord. It's like a fire happened here. Tic-tac-toe die cleaned. Tic-tac-toe die cleaned. Hooray! There was a big recall around that time, too. Really? Around last week? Do you know of what? Because it had, you know, chicken, cheese, ranch, buffalo sauce, lots of stuff. Oh. That could mean anything. Mostly fruit and veg. Yeah, you need to be suspicious of vegetables, too. I remember getting food poisoned once, too. I think it was a pizza during a class party. It's not fun. Like, I knew it was different from, like, regular tummy stuff just because, like, my stomach hurt. Like, obviously, your tummy hurts when you have a tummy thing, but, like, it felt like something was standing on it. Like, it was very uncomfortable. And if anything touched my stomach, it would hurt really bad. So I couldn't, like, lay on my stomach. A cat couldn't walk on my stomach. I mean, I would prefer she didn't do that anyway. Behind the Bastards has an episode series about the FDA and food regulations. I would feel like something from them would be like, and it's still bad, here's why. I mean, the episode of Maintenance Phase about, Daily Harvest goes into it a little bit. How there used to be this thing called the poke and sniff method for telling if meat was bad. Fresh creative cuisine was the tag to look for. I see. Well, unfortunately, I don't know where they got their stuff. Oh, this whole thing is the net. I see. Also was wrong and meat was on the meat and eggs were on the list. Yeah, so it could have been anything. Like I'm sad it happened to me, but I'm not gonna go like in the Yelp reviews of this restaurant and be like, you gave me food poisoning! Die! Things happen. I can't believe adulterated food used to be so common back in the olden days. People were getting sick all the time. Oh good, I can get in here. Hooray! Look at that. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. People used to straight up mix gunpowder to sell as peppercorn balls. What the fuck? Yeah, people were cutting, like... If we were talking about, like, Depression era shit, people were cutting coffee with, like, sawdust. Come on. Get clean. Get clean. Oh lord. Hello. Oop. I keep getting E and R mixed up. I can't remember what it was cut with, but milk was commonly cut back in the day. I would think with water. That's how I see skim milk today. I'm just like, that shit's water. It's white water. I forgot what happened, but somebody was cutting candy or gum with a volatile substance. Oh shit. It was something else, something dangerous. Oh. Bleach. Although I can't imagine bleach would be inexpensive to use. Oops. I did it again. I fucking did it again. Wood pulp is still used in shredded cheese. Say psych right the fuck now. What do you mean? This is why we should buy a block and shred it ourselves. But I don't want to. Swill milk referred to milk from cows fed swill, which was residual mash from nearby distilleries. The milk was whitened with plaster of Paris, thickened with starch and eggs, and hued with molasses. What the fuck? Get some swill milk in you. The swill milk scandal was a major adulterated food scandal in the state of New York in the 1850s. The New York Times reported an estimate that in 1 year, 8,000 infants died from swill milk. Jesus. Holy fuck. Right as the happy music came on. This music sounds like Mother 3 music or something. I don't know. Without the timestamps, I don't know what any of this shit is, except like the Pikachu, Hey You Pikachu music. How did our ancestors survive long enough to make us? Yeah, lots of luck. Prayer, maybe? I don't know. If that's a thing you think helped. They were strong. These days, men don't have anywhere near the testosterone that the men of yesteryear had. But with nugenics, we can change that. With our new Ultraman formula, you can be sexy, or you can have all the energy that you wish you had, and don't worry, she'll like it too. I hate those commercials so much. Stuffed with addictive, deadly substances, these men weren't afraid to be manly. They only had fucking cocaine for breakfast every day. And cigarettes for lunch. Oh, that's the Mario 3 Toad House song. These men snorted creosote and ate ricin and still had 10 kids. What's wrong with you? Don't worry, she'll like it too. I hate that part. I hate the part where the guy winks at the camera. I know why you're taking this. Well, sir, I'd love to keep my liver. No. Oh my god, I have the hiccups. Oops. We don't stop the water unless there's like an emergency. This music is good cleaning stuff music. Clean this. What is this? Climbing pole? This reminds me of the case I almost got put on for jury duty. I thought it was a car accident. Well, it was that or this other case. I see. Oh, come on. This is plastic? This looks like it's metal. If this was plastic, I would expect it to, like, fall, like, bend over. Why the hell are you still dirty? Oh. In which a man's wife was suing construction companies for suffering and death due to asbestos poisoning. He died of cancer. The catch, he also smoked since he was 8! Ball? That might have done it. I mean, both probably did it. Yeah, I'm sure the asbestos didn't help. That feels like some, it feels like some Phoenix Wright shit. Or like at some point in the case, you find out that the dude's been smoking since he was 8. Where the fuck is this dirty? Like the pole. Apparently this was a habit at 8, not just an occasional smoke. Like a pack a day at 8. I'm surprised he lived long enough to die for a different reason. There we go. Oh, right, I have to clean in here. Lord, this may as well have been what happened. Wait. And we find out later in the case that the asbestos company was in cahoots with the cigarette one, but they both sold branded asbestos non-flaming butt cigarettes. Lord. I want to know where the sleazy car salesman trope started, and why do they wear outfits that are upon abominations to God? I mean, the reason they're a sleazy car salesman is because car salesmen typically make a very large commission on what they sell. So they're extremely motivated to get people into cars, regardless of whether they can, like, logistically afford them. Like, they want you in that fucking car. They don't care if they have to, like, knock down the price or anything. Like, they'll do it if it gets you in the car. Getting paid on commission really fucks with your morals, yeah. Why the plaid? Why the sequins? It draws the eye. It, like, exactly what B says. It makes you look at them. It makes you make eye contact with them, which is all they need. They're gonna be on you like a fucking shark. Like there's blood in the water if you make eye contact with a fucking car salesman. And then, of course, like, that just gives people license to lampoon that trope when they're making a fictional car salesman. Natural markings of a financial predator. The monkey bars. I've never been able to do the monkey bars. Oh look, sequins. The car salesman must be in season right now. He's trying to attract mates / unsuspecting victims. The trope only gets stronger when the cars aren't new. Yeah, usually, like, you see, like, the plaid and the sequins when they're selling used cars. Like, lemons. 1-800-MY-LEMON. Like, fucking Mr. Wormwood shit. You're too honest. I prefer you honest. Scheming. Something pervy. Oh, not that lemon. You're making your own jokes and laughing at them in my chat. This is the second time. It's a good bit. I'm just gonna stop. It's an economy. In this economy, we can't expect people to laugh at your jokes, so we have to laugh, like, spend fucking bits or, like, points to laugh at your own jokes. monkey bar ladder. I bet there's crap on. Oh. Yay! They changed their recipe so many times now they're getting rid of their... Oh, wait, is this like a pet food thing? Blue Buffalo, I'm gonna trash because... I would never recommend it to anyone. I always hear like horror stories of like dogs getting very sick, like seizures from Blue Buffalo. My dog at home was fed pedigree from a can. Blue Buffalo had a big mold outbreak in 2005, I think. Yeah. I remember it being, like, when I was on Tumblr. So, like, I know around 2011 it must have happened again. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So I keep getting cut off by my own body. I wouldn't recommend it or any of the cereal-owned foods unless you were desperate. Me realizing that cereal owns dog food. Help. It's the same thing. It's people kibble. Now the top surface of these monkey bars is gonna be gross. I have to figure out how to get up there. Can I climb the ladder? Whoa. No, I gotta get on top of the monkey bars. I'm sure I can go up this way. Just meat-flavored cereal, yeah. That's sad. Oh, wait, I'm not on top of the monkey bars, though. How do I get up there? Wait! You beautiful bastard. Oh yeah. Imagine how hot these monkey bars get. These things will melt your skin on a hot day. Burn the kids' fingers if they go to climb on them. It's fine, it's character building. Yay! I guess I'll get this thing while I'm up here. What if you blasted yourself off the ladder with the gun? I don't think it'll work. I gotta scroll, hang on. Most of them are mostly just made out of corn and rice, which is not good for ATP and fat burning. No, it's not. The funny thing is, they're just trying to get customers to change onto a different brand because it's not healthy for them. Well, my dog's Grand Dame was on it. It was just fine. You have to tell them, no, it's not the same brand. They sold out. Yeah. God, I don't even know who I would go to for dog food. Like, I don't have a dog. I feed my cat Science Diet. Not because she needs it, but because she likes it. That sucks too, because you'll get companies that sell out that used to be quality. Yeah. I feel like I've had that experience with, like, people food. Okay. I've cleaned that to the best of my ability. Get this while I'm over here. Okay. We've done the monkey bars. Science side is okay. I used to give a cat's that. The recipe hasn't changed much in 20 years. Never get holiday pet meals. Oh, I wouldn't think to do that. That just seems weird. I don't think your pet is gonna know what they're missing when you break out the roast beast or whatever. What about pet booze? That isn't... there's no way that's a good idea, right? There's no way. There's no way pet booze can be a good idea. I'm gonna try to clean this from the outside, because... yeah, I realized, like, wait, this is probably dirty on the outside. I do appreciate that the game is being more lenient. I don't have to get, like, every fucking speck of dirt off for it to count. Keep doing that. I hope I can reach. I'm probably gonna need the ladder again. But most of this I seem to be able to reach from here. Oh, God damn it. There we go. Yeah, I can probably go faster. I keep thinking like I have to be slow about it, but this angle is the strongest next to the 0 angle one. So it should be alright to just like... whee! Oh, fuck. The underside of the bridge is dirty. Okay, this whole bridge is a unit, so I have to clean it from the top too. Oh, you gotta go slow up here, because you don't have the pressure. I think I actually have to go up there. Is that Donkey Kong Land music? I have no idea. I mean, I can't check the video, because it's like, the timestamps tell you where what the music is. It sounds like a Game Boy game though, so Donkey Kong Land seems likely. Yeah, what are the pet holiday meals that you're talking about, Emily? From a can. Ew. So it's just like slop? Holiday themed slop? Festive slop. There's supposed to be a turkey dinner. Your dog doesn't need a turkey dinner. Fido doesn't need that. Kremlantis music. It does sound very Donkey Kong. Thanks for confirming. Okay, I think I have to go up now. Oh. Oh, the merit cans. I don't mind if we have space. Clean the floor. Gotta get in the cracks here. Speaking of holiday slop, I haven't seen a damn festive merit dog food can from them this year. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen these things. Nice. Is there something I missed on this? Oh. It's like a little splooge of something. Oh, you're so close to being done. Yes, okay. It's sold to Purina. Huh. Isn't Purina another one of those names to run away from really fast? Like, when your grain-free is bad, and then it's good, and then it's like, no, let's do raw. Yeah. I mean, I guess ideally a raw diet would be best, but I don't see how it's feasible for a lot of people. Financially. Oh my god, it's 10:30? Oh no! No wonder I feel so tired. I got lost in the sauce. We're trying our cat on it because it's cheaper than canned food and she prefers prescription kibble anyway. But it's money. And then you have people like, I like Jackson Galaxy a lot, but I also like feel shitty when he's like, you gotta feed your cat raw. It's the only thing, it's the best thing you could do for your cat. And I'm like, hello? Stop making me feel like shit. I might have to stop soon. It's almost bedtime. I need to like implement a hard like stream stop time. That's like you need to de-screen, okay? You need to stop looking at your phone, you gotta stop looking at the computer. I've been streaming this for 3.5 hours. But I want the playground clean. I feel like this playset itself is gonna be a whole stream. I'm just transfixed. Oh, all of these individually? Oh my god. You freak. Fuck being tired. This music's so energetic. Okay, when I finish the bridge, it's over. We're stopping. Also, no wonder I'm hungry. I'm usually not up this late after I eat. Although I think I was hungry earlier. See, wet food I always thought made cats' teeth worse. But I could be wrong. Because they do need teeth to eat the kibbles. Yeah, Snuggles has a lot of dietary restrictions and needs. But she's a good kitty. Zoe's a basic ass bitch. As far as I know, she doesn't have any problems, and I'm grateful for it. Dry helps clean it, but cats really need wet when that's where their water comes from. Oh, okay. See, Zoe has never had wet food. And that's because of a really selfish reason, and that's because I don't like I don't like the smell when you open the can. It's that first, like, boom of stink when it hits you that I don't like. Why floor not done? This one's dirty too. I bet I didn't clean them from the outside. Yes! Clean. That's another reason why their pee stinks so much. Yeah, because it's like concentrated. Oh, word. I forgot this entire side of the fucking bridge. Yeah, that's right. Clean. 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 Okay, I think that's the whole... Nope. Okay. That's the whole bridge. Wow. I just have to do this top bit. Oh my god. Look at all this shit. Ball. Okay. Okay. It gave me a loading screen for ending the game? Weird. Alright. Goodbye! Loading, real life. I hope all of you have a lovely evening. Get to sleep. Have a wonderful bed. Oh my god, I can't even form sentences right now. I had a really good time doing this. I'm actually gonna do a raid if you're still in the mood for watching games. Holly is playing Super Lesbian Animal RPG, which is a game I'm really interested in. So, it sounds super cute, and I love Holly, she's awesome. So, let's go say hi to her. Do we have a raid phrase? Frog ball? Yeah, let's say, oh wait, that wasn't the phrase. No, not Spamton ass. Okay, frog ball. Okay, let's just, I'm gonna copy Scheming's frog ball. Frog balls. That's obscene. Alright, let's go! Have a great night, everybody! You'll get it if you see the enemy in the game. Alright, goodbye!